Pete Fry, the goalie mindset guy here. This is a goalie mindset podcast. I'm so excited to have on here today, actually, current client, Mariah Fujimagari. And the first question, did I pronounce your name correctly?
You got it. It's like starting lineup.
So from now on, can I just call you Fuj?
Absolutely.
And just so you guys know, guess what she's going to call me? What are you going to call me?
Fry.
Okay, only Fuj can call me Fry. No one else. Okay. There we go. Here we go. Let's rock, Fuj. Number one, first thing I want to say is congratulations. You are the first female to play in the ECHL since 1995. That is a 28-year milestone. Congratulations. Can you just tell us how that feels, knowing that?
Thank you so much for that. And it's so true. Like just being able to go into the coast and, be the first female in a few decades here is just such an honor. And I'm really grateful for the opportunity that, Coach Marty really presented me with. And it's surreal, it's incredible, and want to continue to pave that pathway for other females and other hockey players who are really chasing big dreams and just, to keep going after it.
Love it. Love it. Okay, let's go back to the moment. Let's go back. And I know we always talk about the athlete mindset. So by me asking that question, it's almost like a fan mindset type of question. We can bounce back and forth. So let's go back to the game. Let's go back to the game. Tell me, can you talk about what did you do as far as leading up to preparing to go in there?
So, it takes work every single day to be able to be ready to go into it. It's not just, you flip a switch on game day. It's competing every single day, and going into training camp, I knew that it was going to be a really competitive environment. I knew that I was going to be, fighting and battling for a roster position. And so, just making sure that I was keeping my body right, having my mindset right, obviously working with yourself, and making sure that I was in the best possible position, every single time that I was jumping on the ice. So then that way I was performing to my best and just developing as a goaltender overall. That's one thing that I really pride myself in, is having that growth mindset towards everything that I do. I pride myself on having, a really strong work ethic and being very dedicated towards the game of hockey, but the sport, and the position of goaltending specifically. So heading into the game, it was all about preparation and how I was taking care of my body and just making sure that I was ready for the boys to be able to do my job and save that puck.
Okay, and it was at home in Kalamazoo, right? At home in Kalamazoo. I know we talked a little bit about what you did in between periods, like getting ready to go in there. Can you talk a little bit about that as far as affirmations go, and if you're comfortable, if just say enough Fry, if you don't feel comfortable with the questions that I asked, but if so, I think it'd be interesting for everyone. Tell them about what you did, because I think this is great for all goaltenders.
Absolutely. So, in between periods and especially in between the third and going into OT, it was massive for me to be able to just reset and focus on being present in the moment. And one thing that I always focus on is mindset and affirmations, because, whether you believe you can or you believe you can't, either way, you're both right. So, super important to be feeding into the right wolf. We talk about that a lot, just allowing your mindset to be in your control. And that starts with your self-talk and what you're saying to yourself. And so my affirmations in between, going from the third to OT, obviously we don't get a flood, so we're not going back to the locker room. We're just going back to the bench. And my positive affirmations that I was saying to myself was, you're built for this. You are made for OT. You're made to stop the puck. You absolutely love moments like this. So I was getting myself fully dialed in to be able to focus in and track that puck and be present in the moment. And I've never been one to watch the time clock, so that's not something that I ever have to kind of worry about. I love being out there. I love making every single save. But obviously, going into OT, just even more important to focus in on just making that next save. Just focusing in on my job, and that is just saving the puck. So I think that a lot of the times I'm talking and doing these self affirmations to myself, obviously in my head. But it was a unique opposite position that I was in between the third and OT. For some reason, I was saying these affirmations out loud. And I think that it was just contagious, for the boys to be able to hear and to be able to see, like, how I conduct myself and how serious I really take, responsibility for my position. So I think that they were even more amped up to rally for that win, especially, because it was a preseason game. So it was really special just to see them, really fight for that win, get the goal, and be able to celebrate together.
That is dynamite. I love the way you did your affirmations out loud, that's it's called incantation. So you're doing the incantations, and the guys could hear you doing your incantations. I think that's inspiring for them to hear, because what were like 3 or 4 things you were saying? I loved what you were saying. Any goalie can use these. It's so powerful.
Absolutely. I was saying, like, I'm a beast. I'm made
I'm a
for
beast.
this.
I was made for
Yeah.
this.
I love
I want to go
saving the
slow as we go
puck.
through them. What's the other one?
I was made for this.
I was made for this. What else?
I love saving the puck.
I love saving the puck. Outstanding.
Yeah. Our favorite one, arguably, I am powerful.
You are. Yes.
Yes.
And that's
And
something that everyone on the team could say.
yes, absolutely. My D-men could say I saved the puck. They've been blocking shots left and right. I had a lot of D-men, on the team really stepping up on PK and taking them. So, so that's an affirmation they probably, fall asleep to. But yeah, I think the biggest takeaway is just I've heard this saying a few times, is like, a rising tide lifts all boats. And so it's just, we really focus in, the coach brings in every single team member, for a reason. Everyone's kind of like a little piece to that puzzle. Everyone kind of, is like an orchestra putting, different kind of instruments together. And when you're all in harmony and you're all doing your job, like, you can only do your job to the best of your ability. And so the more that I was able to focus in on making that next save, then the more that, the next guy can focus in on, taking that puck up ice and finding a rush or be able to, like, have a scoring opportunity. So I knew that, for me to be able to do my position to the best of my ability was going to allow them to be able to give us, that opportunity to win in OT. So obviously, I shut the door in OT, came up with all 5, and yeah, it was just such a historic moment to be able to be there. And I will say, like, the fan base was electric. It was so incredible to feel their energy. Every single save that I came up with, they were just erupting. So it was incredible to have the fan base and the community behind me. I felt their energy. And obviously, when Brads came back to me to Sally after he scored that goal and had the winner, it was such a monumental moment for sure. And I think it's just huge for the game of hockey. And you see how much the zoo really cares about their team.
Wow. That is some dynamite stuff. That is some dynamite stuff. And I liked your quote, a rising tide lifts all boats. That almost reminds me of David Goggins, who's going to carry the boats. Right? Who's going to carry the David Goggins saying there, but a rising tide lifts all boats. And how was during the game when your team took a penalty? I'm assuming your team took some penalties.
Mm-hmm.
When they took a penalty, how was your athlete mindset? Were you able to just grasp it and like, let's go, like, yes, that's my opportunity to shine?
Absolutely. I mean, like, a lot of what we focus on is just, our team turning over the puck, being ready no matter what, um, you know, being the best PKer on the team, just being out there and reading the play properly. So the speed of the game obviously is immensely fast. So it's really important to be able to take in all the information that you're given. Not do an extra movement and be able to really, be explosive when you need to be, and then conserve energy when you need to as well, and then freeze pucks, when you need to. So there's so much going in obviously on PK. So staying composed and again just doing my job, focusing in on that next save, being able to come up with it for the team is huge, especially on special teams. So yeah, it's just being able to take that mindset towards every save and every moment.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Let's go back. Let's go back to the third period. And I want to talk about it's a positive interview. I want to talk about not coming up with a save, not give me like a Carey Price report like,
Mhm.
Carey, do you think you could have made that save? He gets like the negative. It's like, talk to me about your bounce back, because it doesn't matter if it's Bobrovsky, if it's Vasilevsky, Carey Price, every goalie listening has to go through this. How did
Mhm.
you bounce back when, and maybe, or there's some things that we have worked on in the past that you applied to help you bounce back when you didn't come up with a save at some point?
Mhm, mhm. Mistakes are like a part of the game of hockey, like at the end of the day, right? And I think that that's like probably the best part about the game is that it is so dynamic, and that it is just, there are so many variables going into every night. So, like there are going to be nights where you're going to like not come up with a save. And in those instances, it's just really important. Like that is not the time to focus on what the situation was, or what analyze like anything that you're going through. There's plenty of time to be able to go through that when the game is over, and when you have that time to reflect on it and go through it with your coaching staff and whatnot. But in the game, like I think that it's really selfish to think like woe is me, or oh, like I should have saved that goal. Your team needs you to be able to come up with that next save. So it is so important to really flush it, like we talk about, whether it's like an eraser, you can take an eraser and just erase that. You can like picture, basically a toilet and just like flushing it, letting it go down the drain, letting it go down a river, like whatever you need to do visually. I think that that helps take it to that next level, to really take it out of your mind and your mind's eye. But if you're able to just say like, that's over, that's done, I'm moving forward, then that's what you need to do at the end of the day, whatever helps you to be able to just focus on coming up with that next save. So I did not come up with the save on 3 instances in the third period. And for me, my bounce back was at a 10. It was just focus in on that next save. I'm ready for the next one. I'm going to be a wall for the next one. Like I've already made the save. And I think that, in my mind, practicing that 23% rule is like, as soon as I have not come up with a save, it's like visualizing the next save. Okay, someone's coming in on a rush. I make a clean glove save, nice and composed, full in, feeling like 100%, like that wall, and being able to be there for the boys. So that's really my focus, when I don't come up with a save, is to be able to focus in on that next moment and really be able to come up with that next save.
I love what you said there. Specifically going back just a little bit to what you were saying was, if a goalie doesn't make a save and the goalie's like, woe is me, and getting down on the goal on themselves, that's actually a selfish thing to do. And it hurts everyone on the team. I think it's important that all the listeners recognize that, because I think the way our society works, society almost trains us to, if we make a mistake, what do? We got to put our head down and show shame, show that we care. That doesn't do anyone any good. So if you can reframe that, just like Fuge said, that's powerful stuff. You reframe that to just like I saw one of my clients play last night in Seattle versus Brandon Carson, and they were up 4-2, and they with about a minute left and lost 6-4. The team just left. The team basically just left, and yet to see how composed he was out there, not one point did he put his head down. It was like watching Carey Price out there, just boom, kept that. So what you said was so powerful. Where I've seen goalies in a game, miss one save, and they're looking down on the ground, and anyone watching them on their team, it's going to bring that person down. So just for guys, so for the takeaway here is when not making a save, it's selfish to look down at the ground. It's selfish to get mad at yourself and keep replaying it over and over again. That's how you got to frame it. It's selfish to do that, and you just bounce back. Short memory. Fuge, powerful stuff. Powerful stuff. Let's switch hats. So number one, congratulations again. Congratulations again. Powerful stuff. You also have you're a nutrition expert too.
Absolutely. So
tell us about that.
my brother and I, we founded Young Elite Athletes 3 years ago. And so it was incredible to be able to, take my passion for hockey and also my passion and my degree in nutrition that I got at UMaine while I was playing and studying there, and be able to, combine both of those into a hockey nutrition program. So very similar to yourself, Rye, I have the opportunity to be able to work with, a number of athletes who are really just looking to dial in that next performance edge and really be able to take any, health habits that they have right now and transform them, right? Just take, what habits they're doing right now towards nutrition and sleep and how they approach their hydration and all these other, areas of wellness, and be able to level them up, be able to make those small tweaks that really make the long, impactful difference. And so obviously I practice as I preach. I do a lot towards my nutrition, taking care of, proper sleep habits, making sure, obviously I'm well hydrated. So it's been a passion of mine to be able to share all of these things towards, the culture of hockey, because, it's something that I wanted as I was growing up, to be able to have a better framework. So it wasn't just, oh, what are we going to eat tonight? Or, oh, another late night, after leaving the rink, what are we going to cook? Or what are we going to pick up? Right. So, tournament weekends, like all those intricacies that hockey families go through with having, a busy school and work and life schedule. We really help them get a lot more granular and a lot more clear on what it looks like to actually fuel as an elite athlete.
And wow, has it ever changed? Because when you were talking about that, I was thinking back to when I was playing craft dinner, Denny's pregame, McDonald's after the game, like garbage, right? Garbage. A few questions for you. Gatorade, good or bad?
So I love to work with athletes with where they're at. You know what? There is always a scale. It's like, we talk about it. It's like good, better, best. So it's kind of like a ladder, right? Taking those steps up the ladder.
Okay.
So important. The relationship that athletes have with food is something that you carry throughout your life, right? So how you fuel up as an athlete, often those habits will continue with you. And so it's so important to make these changes enjoyable, and also make these changes feel a lot more effortless, and make parents, not have basically this battle with their kiddos on the daily, right? So there is so much out there in terms of like, marketing strategies and food scientists on how to specifically like design these foods and sports drinks. And I think now more than ever, You know, when you go into the grocery store, you're just like bombarded with loads of products and loads of ingredients that you can't even like pronounce, let alone like know what they're doing to your body. So I think, you know, first and foremost, we really just focus on where an athlete is at, taking any of their habits that they're doing and just up leveling them, right? So making sure that, you know, that gradual is they're able to feel that momentum of making positive changes. So, you know, if an athlete's like drinking Gatorade right now, let's look at like that next best option and integrating that and seeing how that goes. You know, just taking that individualized approach as well.
Got it. Okay. Okay. It's interesting because I know I had a client. He was playing in the National Hockey League, and in between, he was like really dehydrated and stuff like that. So the trainer said, "Drink this," and he gave him a Coke. Gave him a Coke. I don't know. Maybe in that situation, maybe it had some stuff that was good for him. I'm not sure, but I like your good, better, best. Good, better, best. As far as I'm sure, electrolytes are good, better, best as far as they go. And same thing, pregame meal, good, better, best. Postgame meal, good, better, best. In-game hydration, good, better, best. Yes, yes. Now,
Mhm.
you and I talk. We have lots of talks about I eat raw organs. So I'll eat like raw cow liver. Let me be specific. Raw cow liver, grass-fed, grass-finished, raw cow heart, grass-fed, grass-finished, kidney from time to time, grass-fed, grass-finished. What's your take on that? If an athlete is thinking of trying that, what's your take on that?
Yeah, I think first and foremost is getting it from like a very solid source, right? Like you're rural in BC. You know, I think that that's one of the highest qualities that you're going to be able to find here in North America. So just first and foremost, like if possible, you know, getting things local, getting things right from your farmer. Like I said, I went to UMaine and I studied nutrition and agriculture. So I had the opportunity to be able to run an organic, community supported agriculture farm that was focused on agriculture, like in terms of, you know, fruits and vegetables and things like that. But just most definitely, you know, getting things as local as they can so they can be as nutrient dense and giving your body those building blocks that it needs. That's going to be the first thing to focus in on. So, you know, the food that you are eating doesn't have to be as processed. You know, this awesome guru, he talks about, he says, how alive is your food? And I think that that's just such a great
Mm,
question to ask yourself, no matter what your age is, because if you want to feel alive and you want to be energized and you want to go out there and, you know, focus and be able to perform at your best, then you're going to be having to like fire at all cylinders. So just asking yourself, you know, is this like, you know, box of certain thing or, you know, bag of certain thing like have that much nutrients in it? Or, you know, is there another option that I can look towards that is going to give my body the fuel that it actually needs, right? So just looking at that quality. And I think, you know, if anyone takes anything away from this, just ask yourself before you consume anything, like how alive is this food?
yeah, that is key. Hang tight. We'll be back in 1 minute. I just got to grab some. If it's ready, I don't even know if it is yet. I'll be back. Give me like 10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Let's see it. And I think, you know, I'll just, you know, chime in here as well, like how high quality the water is. So important, you know, that we're focusing in on having higher quality water whenever possible as well. Our body is made up of water, you know, arguably between 70 to 75% water. So super important. Science shows the quality of water that we have really dictates how we feel. So, if anyone can even just like start making small steps, it will be with consuming a higher quality water. So that will be, you know, a reversed osmosis water or spring water. Just making sure that you're having the higher quality water is huge. And
Yes.
a huge tip for hockey athletes is fill your water bottle up at home before you actually leave for the rink. Right? A lot of the times when we get to the rink, we're just having tap water, and it's not that high quality. So if you can fill up your water bottle at home, use a filtration system, then you're already going to be ahead of the game of your competitors, and you're already going to be performing a lot better than you were prior.
I love it. I love it. So something we use I think it's called a Berkey. It's like a water filter system, but what are the best water? Is there like a best one out there? Do you know of, or does it matter, or would you just go
Yeah, so
online and
there's
research
like
it?
really intense ones. You can get like 12 stage reverse osmosis that gets hooked up underneath your sink. You can purchase those ones even on Amazon and get those ones set up. You can We can put a couple links too, like under the show
Yeah, we
notes,
should.
for people to be able to go through. They're portable ones, so then you can take them to the hotel. For me personally, I know, when I was with the K-Wings, I wanted to have higher quality water. So I actually purchased, the 5 gallon, and filled that up at a local spring, and
Smart.
was able to fill up that 5 gallon, and then I got a 2 gallon with a spout, so then I could just keep refilling that 2 gallon with the spout and be able to fill up my water bottles, and be able to make sure that the water going into my body was like fully nutrient dense, like rehydrating my cells and actually allowing my body to feel hydrated.
That's huge. Okay, I'm just gonna finish it off with this here. So this, yeah, I got it. It's still fine out. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see the liver
Oh
there?
yeah.
It's still fine out. So I wanted to eat some here, but it's pretty freaking, it's pretty frozen though.
Yeah, that looks tough.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. I can have a little. Sorry, this is not the most polite thing to do.
No, I think earlier what we were talking about
Mm-hmm.
too, we chat a lot, is just getting outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Whether you're an athlete or, you're listening into this, one thing that we can always promote is just pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone,
Yeah.
allowing yourself to not be in a routine of complacency, right? It's like
Yes.
so often we get like in these ruts, or we feel like very mundane with our tasks and like our day to day, and even more so like now. I think as we head into like some darker days and spending more time at the rink, so it's just so important to be able to, jump back into life with that vigor. We talk, Fry, a lot about jumping into cold baths or,
Mm-hmm.
cold showers, allowing,
Barefoot
your
hiking.
body. Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Doing, the breath work.
Yeah.
There's so many opportunities to grow, and athletes especially are always, looking for a challenge, looking to level up. So it's just always important, I think, to keep that hunger. And I think that that's what's allowed me to make my career so successful, of playing, now 6 years of pro and playing Division I hockey and being a captain and whatnot.
Yep.
It's just like all these levels have been able to be achieved because I'm always looking to level up. I'm always looking to put in the work every single day to really become like that better version of myself and better version of a goalie that I can be.
And do the uncomfortable, right? Do the uncomfortable right here. There's a little bit of can you see that? Uh,
Oh yeah.
that is highly nutritious. That is, I guess, the blood. That's highly nutritious, just so you know. So, okay, I wanted to finish off with that. Fuj, I actually have to run into another Zoom coming up here. This has been phenomenal having Fuj on here. Pete Fry, the goalie mindset guy, the goalie mindset podcast. Mariah Fujimagari, the first female to play in the ECHL in 28 years. She is a legend. Thanks for coming on, Fuj. You're so powerful.
Absolutely, Fry. So happy to inspire the community and keep striving for greatness, everyone. And thank you so much. I appreciate it, Fry.
You bet. And by the way, no one else gets to call me Fry, just Fuge. Okay. So don't even think about it. Okay, Fuge, great job.